Okay, welcome to episode 5. Now, this episode I'm going to call, Well, This Sucks, because Susan and I went to Chemo 101 today, which is the educational session that everybody goes to before they actually start chemo. Now, people are probably going, yes, Narelle, finally you're realising this is not a walk in the park. And that is exactly what I got today. I think in my mind, I was sort of going, you go into chemo, everything's fine. You just, live your life exactly the same as you did before. But reality actually struck today. In fact, I think I said, nah, I'm out. This is ridiculous. But I think the main thing is that there is so much even outside the chemo. So every time you go to chemo, the day before you have to go and get blood tests. If the blood tests come back and say that everything isn't looking good, they will reschedule your chemo, that you will have a blood test the next day, and it sort of goes round and round like that. So that's sort of a little bit crazy. Today I had to go and have an echocardiogram and an ECG because to start chemo, you actually have to check your heart. So you just seem to be going from appointment to appointment, which is the hardest thing. When we turned up today for a 2:00 appointment, which we didn't get into till about 20 to 3, they asked, what was it you cared about in the whole thing you were going through? So I said, okay, well, look, I care about getting rid of the cancer at the end of the day. I care about everybody being open and honest, and I care about people being on time, because this is the thing that's really annoying. When you have something like that, you do not want to be sitting around waiting. If somebody says you have a 2:00 appointment, you've got a 2:00 appointment. But anyway, that's my rant. So what did we learn about today? So a few things. One, I know that my chemo is going to be 2 hours long. So 2 drugs that they'll give me called doxorubicin and cyclophosphamide or something like that they put into a drip in a vein. So this is the other thing. That says day 1. Then the next line under that says day 2. Didn't know about day 2, which is something that they inject under the skin that takes about 5 minutes. So again, you just seem, when you think that you can fit everything into a schedule around your life, you actually can't, because then they come back and tell you that, you need to do something else. So there's all these last minute surprises that you come across as well. So the stuff we sort of talked about today were things like the side effects and whatnot. So we talked about hair loss. It's not just the hair on your head. You lose your eyebrows, you lose your eyelashes, you lose absolutely everything. So that was interesting. Mouth ulcers were another big thing. The other thing Sue and I learned about is you can buy something called mouth mousse, because apparently your mouth gets really dry and you need mouth mousse. You also need nose oil, because your hair will, your nose will also get dry. So that's a little bit crazy as well. Fatigue was something we all sort of knew about. The next thing they took away from me was around skin sensitivity. No sunbaking. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I like a good bit of sun, so that's out as well. Diet and nutrition. Oh my God, this was where it started to go downhill really, really quickly. They basically said, and people who know me know I don't have kids, it's basically a pregnancy diet. So no soft cheese. No raw food, so that means there's no sashimi, no sushi, no oysters, as Sue just said. You got to make sure your eggs are really cooked. And I'm like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. You do have to drink 2 litres of water a day, which I'm obviously not really good at as well. So there's all these things you just don't even think about. What else did they talk about? I'm basically turning toxic. So I'd like to think I was a superhero, but I don't think that's true. Cytotoxic? Chemotoxic? Cytotoxic is basically what I will become. So any fluid from my body is basically toxic. So 54, hot sweats. I have a hot sweat at night. If I actually sweat really, really badly, I'm going to have to wash everything and wash it separately, because everything coming out of my body is going to be toxic. So I don't think I really grasp that. So, if something happens and let's say I'm sick and I vomit, I actually have to put on rubber gloves to clean it up because everything that's coming out of me is toxic. So that absolutely sucks. So it was a bit of an eye-opener for us today. I don't think it's going to be as easy as I was actually thinking. So yes, everybody, I finally had a dose of reality, but still pretty upbeat about it. And so the next thing for me is Monday when I do the portacath. So I will tune in again to let you know how I go. The other thing I did forget to tell people in the last episode was around the PET scan. So the PET scan came back saying that it has not spread. So it is just the 2 lumps. So that was something that was obviously really good news because you're sort of a little bit nervous about whether it's going to come back and say it's worse than you think it is. So that's the good news. Soft cheese is the bad news. So this weekend, Susan and I will be eating gallons of soft cheese, pate, all the stuff I'm not going to be able to eat for the next 5 months. Okay, thanks everybody for tuning in. Bye.